Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another spring season, well, this time professionals tournament round robin day 4. And have we got a matchup for you? We're gonna start off with Primal versus Rain, which is their main team. And after that, we have Primal versus Pincer. So that's gonna definitely be fun to watch. I'm gonna go and take me the preview now so that you see the garage and the current point position that we have on a server. We have Rain with a solid 6 point, followed by Void and Primal both with 5. Rain Chaos with 3 points, Pincer with 3 points, Straight with 2 points, and Hated and Von with no points as of yet. That means that we have a fairly solid top 3 at the moment, with basically 3 clans, or 3 teams I should say, vying for that 4th place. But Hated and Von will have a very hard time to get to the top 4 from here on out, because they will need to win pretty much every game that they get. So yeah, so like I said, tonight we're gonna start off with Primal versus Rain. I'm just gonna call Rain because then it just clarifies which Rain team I'm talking about. And after that we have Primal versus Pincer, as I said. So we start off with Dynasty's Pearl, Main, Runes and Middleburg, and then move on to Rockfield, Canyon and Canal. So these matches, there will be a bit more of a gap between, because we move from the first round of the round robin to the second round of the round robin, and for some reason that means that there's an extra quarter of an hour in between. So I hope you guys are all geared up for it. I am pretty much also, but I am still waking up just a little bit, so forgive me for that. I still have a crate to open on this thing. I got a lovely grenade avatar, and I'm just gonna stick to the gold one. And basically we just have to wait until the room is up, which will happen in a few minutes. And I have to do the YouTube thing, which will happen in just over a minute. So to start with, I am gonna pull up my little cheat sheet to look at the maps that I just read, because I am absolutely awesome at forgetting everything. So we start on Dynasty's Pearl, which looks like this. It is pretty much a small map. You have base A, which is the heavy base. Base B, that is in the middle, that is for anyone with the guts to take it. And base C, that is a little bit more down below in the medium area. And I personally always prefer to go around base C, because there are so many little peekaboom spots there, and that just really fits my playstyle. But if I am in a super heavy of some form, I will also go to base A. Base B is something I generally never go to until I know exactly where the enemy is, because it is one of those places where you can get absolutely wrecked for trying to cap it. That being said, there's a lot of lines of fire in pretty much all the bases, and that does not make this the easiest of maps. Combined with the fact that this map is very, very small, it is a very tricky map because of that, because in a light or a medium you can't really just go running around, because the chances that you will get intercepted are quite large. So after Dynasty's Pearl, we are moving on to Main Runes, which looks like this. And basically you have base C, which is the med base, base A that has the heavy base, and base B that has the I really want to die, please kill me now base. The reason that I call it like that is because there's a few places where you can get a relatively safe cap, but basically you will be stuck in the middle there unless your enemy team is completely on the opposite end of the map, and that is just not very likely to happen, especially not in games like this. So I just did the YouTube thingy. We have the mat base at base C that has a nice little ramp there that makes for interesting gameplay. And hang on, I'm just a bit distracted by messages. That has a nice little ramp there, and base A has some nice spots where you can basically have a line of fire towards the enemy spawn, but at the same time you have enough cover to cap, but you do need a little bit of team, because otherwise you will get rushed and then you will still die. So that is Main Ruins, and we finish it off with Middleburg after that, which looks like this. You have base C, which is on the hills. You have base A and B both in the town. And where in randoms I would definitely go C, because I always find it easier to work from the hill and to keep the hill rather than to take the hill. On Supremacy it can be a bit different, because you have the 2 bases and you need to dominate 2 bases in this game, in Supremacy that is. You had them both in the town, and that means that you need basically holding positions in the town. And that does not make this the easiest map either. I quite like this map, especially in randoms. But it is a tricky map, I think, for gameplay. There is the room invite. I'm gonna take that and make sure the map is gone. I am readied up. And we still have quite a few minutes. Oh, hang on. I have my... There we go. Sorry. I always have to stream live for the chat as well. And that means that in this case here, I heard myself double. So that's gonna be very interesting. So we still have 4.5 minutes left to go. We have Primal that is completely present. Rain is still missing someone. And we have my co-commentator on the other side, Brian, all ready to stream as well. If for those that are watching through the portal, know that if you watch multiple streams, and you can just, of course, mute every single one except for the one that you actually want to watch, you will get more coins. So that's a little thing that I will give you. And what you do with it is up to you. So we have currently 4 people ready up. I have a feeling that Hated Fate is not going to take an E75 on this map. I think you would be better off with VK or a mouse or even an E100. But we'll see. And on the other hand, we see Primal with a full tier 10 team, but they are not completely ready up yet. And it will be interesting to see what they do. We see a lot of VKs there on the, appearing on Rain. And I wonder if they're gonna take like an all VK team. That will be tricky. We have Primal almost completely readied up with 2 mice in E3, 2 IS4s and an STB, and potentially an E100, but there are still some changes being made. I'm just checking to make sure that I did not leave the map on the screen, because that would make you lose about half the game, literally in on the screen itself, that is. And we have now a nearly finished team and at Rain as well, but they are still changing a little bit. I don't think his Royal Fatness will use that tank in this game. Not even sure if he's able to be honest. Mo going back in. Light Vic, yes, of course, that is definitely the tank to take in a match like this. But basically, Rain is going for some very heavy armor with the Yege 3 VKs, an IS4, another Yege, and an Object 140. So a tiny bit of speed, probably for spotting purposes, and a lot of heavy armor. And on Primal's side, we still line up before, except for Tanner, he has not readied up. Now he has. Now we have T2 completely readied up. Well, not anymore. And we get another VK. What the hell, guys? Seriously, 4 VKs, 2 Yeges, and an IS4. That is a ton of armor, basically. And it will be interesting to see how Primal deals with that. But they do have some heavy armor themselves. And it will definitely be fun to see what they do with this. We have 1.5 minutes about left to go. And then we get to see where they go on this very small map. What bases did they go for? Do they go for a straight on rush with the armor? Well, rush with that armor, but yeah, still rush with that armor. And see how they will hold. It will definitely be an interesting matchup. When I see so many tanks of the same type going into the same game, that makes it definitely interesting and makes me very curious to see what they're gonna do and how they're gonna manage. Because overall, taking so many of the same tanks, except for the IS4, I have to say, because there's always a giant gluttony for that. And now we have a completely different lineup, which makes a lot more sense. We have 3 IS4s, an E3, an Object 140, a mouse, and a Yege. And that definitely makes more sense than the total amount of VKs we just saw. But we have 30 seconds thereabouts until we actually enter the game. And I like it when they do it. At the same time, I'm always feeling, don't you just stress yourself out with that? Because you still have to change and everything. Fun stuff. 15 seconds left to go. We are almost ready. And there goes the countdown clock. And we are good to go. And we have Primal that is a nearly full Aussie team. They just have 1 Eagle and 1 Pro. Whereas there's only 1 Light in the lineup of Rain. And here we go, up and away. Let's see what they do. And look how small this map is, but it is still a pretty fun map. We have Rain focusing primarily on the left side of the right side of the battle and a little bit in the middle, with 1 IS-4 overlooking base A. And we have Unique in his STB that is gonna take a spotting position. He has been spotted already by the Object 140, and so has pretty much almost all of the team from Primal there. And so they will know that they are heavily represented here, which means that the IS-4 on the other side probably have a free cap. Object 140 is now retreating, and that means that Primal is free to cap base C, and they will kind of have to, because base A is already being capped, and they will lose a little bit of points because of it, and that means that Rain has a point advantage. We have the Mouse that is overlooking base B. He does get punished for that straight away. And we have the IS-4 taking positions around. We have Afro Panda turning back, probably to make sure that no one gets flanked. And basically everyone is in a holding position, but Rain has a slight point advantage, so the pressure will be on Primo to change things up and to make something happen. We have the Mouse that is sort of pulling back. The IS-4 is in a position to decap base B. We see Hated Fate losing a little bit of HP there, but not much is happening just yet. Random fire going on. I can't really see. There he is. And we have a bit of a stalemate going on. Basically, like I said, a little bit of HP being lost here and there, but not much happening just yet. TJ holding it nice and easy on this corner. But he is moving away because the IS-4 Reich that is trying to flank him has been spotted. And now we have the E100 that is moving in for a cap, which is good because they will definitely need it. But at the same time now the E3 is moving in, or maybe not. They are not entirely certain. Mo is getting shot. And they will have base B. We have the Mice moving in there, losing HP as they do so. Big fire going on. TJ getting absolutely hammered there, but he's still alive. But he will have to take it carefully. E100 getting hammered now. Now we enter the brawl phase of this match. And basically we have a 3 versus 3 here and a 2 versus 1. And the E3 just lost a ton of health. Tanner is looking really bad though. But TJ goes first, and so does Primo's E3. There goes Tanner. And those bounces will not help. Both teams have lost 2 tanks now, but the point advantage is pretty much negligible. We have Rain that is now capping base B. But he is paying for it dearly. Shot by Reich like that, and now he is dead. And Primal is in a lot. Both teams are pretty much in a lot of trouble. There's only 1 full health guy on each side, and tanks are just dropping left and right. Reich just lost a ton of health by the Jäger trying to secure that kill. But it is 4-3 for Primal, but HP wise it is so close. The IS-4 is going after Reich. We have the Mouse that is putting back, wanting to get a shot into Fizzy as well. He does manage that, and Fizzy is now in a lot of trouble. We have the Jäger that is moving in. The IS-4 reloading. Reich is not gonna... Probably Reich is gonna be shot. The Mouse has been shot. But Reich manages to survive. It is 3 versus 2. And the Object 140... Ooh, that was a very expensive shot not to pen. Same as that. And now it's just Jäger versus Mouse versus 2 IS-4s. And that is a very nice bounce bear. The Mouse... But it is already a Primal game because of the point and the fact that they had 2 bases. That was like we'll just build it up really steadily and then just go for a full out brawl. And now we have Primal already half the team readied up. We see some tanks being changed. We have 1.5 minutes left to go before we get to see a pretty much completely different lineup on both sides. We have Primal with the 2 mice still, with potentially E3, 3 IS4s and a bat chat, so that's actually not all that different. But they did drop the STB in favor of the bat chat. And we see Rain with a 2 mice, 2 AMX50, 3 AMX50Bs actually, an E3 and an IS4, unless things still change. But oh, look at this. They could still be changing it like they did last time, but we have 3 AMX50Bs, 2 mice, 1 IS4 and 1 E3, and Primal has definitely stuck with 2 mice, an E3, 3 IS4s and a bat chat. And those autoloaders can be so incredibly dangerous when they are together and they just clip people together. But at the same time, when they are out and have to reload, that makes them very, very vulnerable. So this is a tank that I generally always see moving in 2, because with 2 AMXs you can pretty much always clip at least someone. And that just makes for fun games, this kind of lineups. Can go either which way, as we saw just now. 20 seconds left to go before we enter the battle. And 10. We have the countdown clock. I am readied up. There is no map on the screen. We are ready to go. We want to see the battle. Let's go. I do like this camo. It is very, very American, but it does look so good. And we have Rain focusing primarily on the base A side now, with a little bit left to hold on probably the middle more than the right side, than the left side. And we have Primal in with Unique in the bat chat, moving in for an early cap. Cheeky moving through the cap, even not even capping. And he just wants to know where they go, but everyone on Rain's side is going towards the middle. We have Fishy that is going to be overlooking base B probably. We see a little bit of shots going on. Primal Unique already reloading his clip because of that. And now the bat chat has been spotted, so he has to be careful. But they are going to cap the base together. And pretty much Primal is positioned all the way around C. And that means the AMXs are free to cap A, but they will start at a point disadvantage now. We see some shots going on here and there. No damage being, not much damage being done yet, except for that earlier shot in the mouse. And Primal just needs to hold. They have the point advantage, so they could afford to just wait for it. But it is very tricky to do that, especially with those AMXs, because if they move in and they steal the kill, they could also steal the point advantage. We have Rijk repositioning himself, the bat chat overlooking the back door, which will be handy with those AMXs moving in, because all 3 of them are there. And they are waiting. They have not yet been spotted. And they are going, one is going through the spawn. There we go. Now 2 of them has been spotted, and you know that they're going to be there. And that means that it is up to Primal to take a position where they can hold. The AMXs are a little bit hesitant now that they have been spotted. We have the bat chat that is repositioning. Most of Primal is repositioning to go to the other side. And those AMXs are holding at the back, probably expecting someone to flank them. Probably expecting the bat chat to flank them, to be honest. Big shot going into Even Steven there. And we just have to wait a little bit to see what happens. We have pretty much everyone in a holding position again. The pressure is on Rain to change something, but the point advantage is not that big. We see Primal now moving a little bit, but they are holding their positions, waiting for that inevitable rush that is going to come somewhere. And they expect those AMXs, but those AMXs are safely in near their spawn, not yet doing much of anything. Fishy now pulling back. The mouse still holding. And we have the AMXs moving again. Same with Fishy. who is now taking a more forwards position. Primal relocating. And this could be tricky. Because Fishy has Fishy has now already been spotted. And those AMXs at the back can be so absolutely deadly. The Batchet is hovering around at the back. I would at this point probably have sent him elsewhere to see what can happen. And now we see a push going on. AMX is not yet moving, but anyone that goes there will be absolutely hit by those AMXs. So that is tricky. We have mouse on mouse action here, but ooh, that mouse is losing a lot of HP trying to cap. But the E3 is steadily losing HP as well. And those AMXs have not been able to fire a shot yet. They are still at the back. But they warded off an attack. And they are still at the back, I think, giving a false sense of security, waiting for a target to clip. Because any one of them that starts firing, the rest will follow. We have Tenor a little bit pushing. Enzyme in a bit of a tricky position. The AMX is now turning around. We see more fireworks going on. Primal losing some HP. And those AMXs are now moving around. I wonder if Primal knows what's going on. HP wise, it's not all that different, about 1k. That's like 3 shots. But Primal has to be careful because they've lost way too much HP here. And the E3 is gonna get clipped in a moment. We're gonna see that. Batchet spotting the AMXs. E3 being focused. Batchet moving around. There goes the E3. We have Primal now moving in for the IS-4, but Mo is there to block them, and that is actually excellent work. The way that he's blocked him. He is sacrificing himself, but he's also keeping his mate alive. And we see that Primal has now already lost 2 tanks. But they are sealing base A. It can go either which way. They are avoiding, denying Rain the victory. But they need to stay alive if they want to do this. Fishy is being absolutely focused. But the E3 is moving in, very clever. And now they have taken base C. And that will make it very difficult for Primal to win. Because they are still getting points. And it's basically all about the focus fire. But there goes Fishy, there goes Enzyme, and it hits 1k, and the game is for Rain. What a game that was. They were holding for so long, and then Rain just moves in with those AMXs, and the poor E3 never saw it coming. Or maybe he did, but he couldn't do anything about it. So now we are moving to Main Ruins, which is one of the maps that I quite like. It looks like this, as I showed you earlier, with base A, the heavy base, base C, the mad base, and base B, the very cheeky to get base. And I'm gonna take that away to make sure that is not on the screen for you guys. And we see Rain completely readied up with 3 mice, 2 AMX-50Bs, an Object 140 and a T-22 medium. And now we have on Primal's side a completely readied up team with 2 E50Ms, 2 IS-4s, a T-22 medium, an E100 and a Batchet. With still 1 minute left to go, that leaves us quite a bit of time to talk about what they might or might not do. Basically, I know for sure that Rain will be in this city area, well, it's not necessarily temple area, I should say, near or around base A, maybe towards base B, and Primal can really go anywhere with this lineup. But when they see those mice, they will know what to expect and where to expect people. And with those AMXs combined with the armor of the mice, that can be incredibly effective. So it will be fun to see. And I can't wait. I like matchups like this. This is basically the number 1 versus the number 2. Well, there's also number 3, but still the top 2 of the top 8 facing off against each other. Primal having a very long history of going to offline events and winning stuff, versus Rain, which is basically a combination team of very good Clan Wars tanks banding together, and that makes for very interesting stuff. And this is also a very pretty looking camo. Look at that, it sort of glows. I love that. So let's go up and away and see what they do. We have Primal that is breaking off towards base C, whereas, or maybe the middle, whereas Rain is focusing completely on the base A and B side. Not really surprising with the lineup that they have, but I wonder if Primal is ready for that. C is being kept to get that early point advantage, because it will be a bit longer before anyone from Rain gets anywhere. Those AMXs have been spotted, they know someone is there. But that means that they are not moving in yet, and that will give Primal a bit more of a point advantage, which will work in their favor. We have the mice going into the middle there. We see a shot being fired. Mo losing a little bit of HP there. And now Rain is capping together to get that point advantage down. Basically, there's a tank between it. If they kill one or maybe two tanks, they might have it back. And we have Nike in the middle that is gonna go for a cheeky B cap, I think. And I can't believe that Primal is not overlooking base B. Because if they kept this base, then the pressure is definitely on Primal to make anything change. And he is in a mouse, so he's not all that easy to pen. And it looks like Rain is gonna get it. No contest, no challenge. Rain has it. And that is a bit too late. Nice shot though. But it doesn't decap it. And now the pressure will definitely be on Primal to do something, because they, even though they still have the point advantage at this moment, it's vanishing very, very quickly. Now we have the Batchat in the E100 moving in, but there's a mouse there together with an AMX. And that will probably be very difficult. The mouse has been spotted, AMX not so much. Now the Batchat has been spotted. We see some shots going on that Batchat can get clipped. We have Unique in the E50M. We have now Rain pulling back together. We have Primal that is basically just being evil and going for an all-out brawl here. The only difference is we see the two IS-4s there with the mouse behind them. They are trying to leave that mouse behind, but it is taking them too long, and Primal rushed too much. And there goes Unique. The IS-4s are now arriving. We see the AMX pretty much vanishing. There he goes. But this can still go either way. Primal has lost 2 tanks right now. And they will want to get those AMXs out of the equation as quickly as possible. But it is going to cost them a lot of health in order to do so. There goes the E50M. Now it's 5 versus 3. And it is not looking good. Fishy's almost dead. There he goes. 4 versus 3. But Primal rushed this rush way too much, and it is costing them very, very dearly, because it's costing them this match altogether. If they had waited for those IS-4s to actually be able to help them, it might have been different. But as it is, that is not the case. Mo losing a lot of HP, Rijk almost dead now. Gonna take you in for a bit of a close look while you still see all the action. That was an absolutely evil push on Rijk there. Even Steven is still alive, but it's no matter, because Rain hit the 1k points and won the match. And look at the damage that even Steven managed to get in though. 4k. But that not decapping base B and then the rushed rush, that really did not work out. Cost Primal this game. So now the pressure will definitely be on Primal, because they have to win every single match now in order to go through. And Rain only has to have one match. They only have to win one match in order to go through now. Well, at least they all go through, but you get the point, you know what I mean. You get the point as well. And we have Rain completely readied up with 2 IS-4s, an E3, an Object 140, a T22 medium and a 268. And we see Primal still discussing a little bit what super heavy to take, I think. And we decide on a VK. There is an IS-4, a 268, 2 Object 140s, a Batchat, a 113 and a VK. So I haven't seen that tank all that much in the tournament so far. And I'm not sure if it is one of those tanks that you will want to use. Rear mounted turret can help you a lot in side scraping positions, but if you get rushed, I always find that it's a bit more difficult to survive in a rear mounted turret than it is in a frontal mounted turret. At the same time, we have seen the mouse and that performs out really well. But there has to be a reason why the mouse generally gets taken and not the VK. But we're gonna see what happens with this VK in about 13 seconds. when we enter the fourth battle of this matchup. And here we go. And now we see Rain focusing mainly on the middle and the left side of the match again. And Primal going a bit all around with the 3 fast tanks going towards base C again. Going for a quickly early cap, I think, because that might give them the advantage. We have the IS-7 going for a cheeky B cap straight off. And that will be interesting because no one is getting base A just yet, but there are people moving in. We have Reich waiting for that to happen. We see some shots being taken. Tanner losing a bit of HP, but Rain does get the point. Reich now losing HP. He has to be careful with the T-22 and the IS-4 is now pushing in. He is basically alone and he is not in a good position. He's gonna be wiped off the earth soon. He is trying to help himself and save himself, but it is not really working, and we're gonna see a very dead right now. And it barely cost Rain anything. Enzyme now losing HP as they run around trying to take out that IS-7. The IS-7 is very quickly being destroyed though. There he goes. Hated Faith just lost a ton of health. And he is being focused very badly. Even Steven holding in his VK. Expecting people to come from behind when they don't. And the 268 is wisely pulling back. We have the Batchat coming up from behind. Tanner losing a lot of HP, peeking. He has to be careful there. Enzyme low on HP. E3 now moving in. Tanner now in a lot of trouble. There he goes. And Primo just lost his second tank. They have to move in, they have to stick together, they have to make it work. Ooh, that is a very expensive shot not to do damage with. Hated Fate just got deleted, but we have the T-22 that is moving in. And they want these tanks. The Batchat is still reloading those bounces though. And now we see that there is a little bit of a turnaround, but Primal is losing a lot of HP. There goes Samuel. There goes his Royal Fatness, and we have the T-22 versus the Batchat, and that is not the lineup that you really want to see. We have the Object 140 moving in, the VK holding quite well. But they have to be so careful here, because HP-wise they have a gun more, but it's not gonna outlast them. Next reload, there goes the Batchat, and now we have Enzyme in a very precarious position because he is almost dead as well. And that will make it very hard for Primo to actually carry this game. They have a slight point advantage, but there goes Enzyme. And now Rain has the point advantage. We have the 268 versus the T-22. We have even Steven that has now been murdered, but he did take out the E3. And basically it's the 268 versus the T-22 versus a very... Ooh, that is a very, very expensive shot not to pen. And there we go. And the point is for Rain. Wow, what a matchup that was. And just the focus fire from Rain, absolutely love it. That VK did hold out better than I expected. To be honest, I haven't played it that much myself. But I think that a mouse generally works better. It's more of a powerhouse, I think. So that is the first matchup of today over and done with. We still have about 35 minutes left to go before the next round. Let's see what the stance is. We have Rain that now has 7 points, I believe. Void took a point home. Rain Chaos, I'm not entirely sure. Let me see who you were up against. Yeah, they took a point home against Straight. And Von got their first point. Who are they up against? Against Hated. So that's nice. So this is a lineup that we take into the next match with us. That is in little over half an hour. And that still looks like this because for some reason we got a whole different point system for the second round. But eventually all the scores will be added up. Tiebreakers will probably be have to get looked at by head-to-heads and all of that. And it will be interesting. So with about half an hour left to go, I am gonna show you some replays. I got some nice ones lined up. And we're just gonna start with that. And we have Gentle Fun in the M60, which is one of the most controversial tanks in the game, even though it has been you have been able to actually buy it or get it in weird events like the Christmas events and all of that a few times now. He really wants people to go to base B by the looks of it. I'm not sure if he's gonna go there himself because he seems to be aiming for the corner, but he just wants people behind him to help, I think. And his team is mostly listening. They're taking position around base B, but they're not actually capping. The AMX 30 Pro has been spotted, but you can't yet shoot him. I absolutely love the AMX Pro. It's just so fun. And Gentle Fun now has the luxurious position of shooting from a distance. He has to be a little bit careful though, but he has not been spotted at the moment. But he is careful and expecting to be spotted at the position that he's in. And he is just basically shooting that AMX for all it's worth. And there he goes. Exit AMX. So both teams have lost the gun now. He is looking at... He has now been spotted. He is shooting and looking at the Proto. But he has to be careful with the motion at the back. That bounce on the bomb though. No bases have been kept yet on either side, and that is tricky. Yodo Wagon and T-54 behind. T-54 isn't even AFK, no idea why he's still in the spawn. He does get tracked there. Object 263 is just waiting for him. That is not a tank that I would sort of blind shot, mainly because the ammo, the whatchamacallit, the armor is so troll, and he missed 2 shots now. Now his team is capping the bases. We have the E100 over there. And waiting too long to pull back there could have cost him quite a bit of health. We have the Motion that is waiting to get shot. But oh my god, that armor is so troll. And again, not a tank that I would generally blind shot because it would be a waste of reload time and ammo. Nice shot on the E100 there. T-54 is still all the way at the back there. What is he doing there? That is not how you play a medium. Tanks disappearing left and right. We are already near 4k damage in. That bounced though, both ways, so that's okay. There he goes. But they have 2 bases now, so they should actually have this game. He is now... I thought he was gonna relocate, but he is not. He is going in for a closer look though. The Motion will still be there as well. Nice little blind shot there, no idea if it penned or not. And there's the Motion. But he does hit back a little bit there. You have the 263 moving in. That is not a sight you want against you, except when he comes at you like that and you can shoot his lower plate. He is trying to be troll, but he is still showing his lower plate, and there we go. We are nearly 5k damage in. With some healthy advice, that is shooting the ball. With some healthy advice from his own team to hide and get to cover and to mine the points and all of that. They pretty much have this game even if one of them dies. The Moiskin is moving in. So we still get some damage. We are more than 5k damage now. 995 points. And they wanted to drive into base B, I think. But the game ends there. Nice damage though. A little bit of spotting or assisted damage. Lots of damage on its own. And let's see what else I have for you. Ooh, this should be fun. Here we go, nice little mouse game. Mouse is such an evil tank. There is really just... Up can be either which way here, to be honest. Right is a little bit more low, but then it gets higher again. But I generally agree with the direction that Marcel is going in right now. Because for me, in my opinion, the positioning on this side of the map is better than on the other side. Nice little blind shot there, no idea if it actually did anything. He is the Venom apparently. And you see that he has been spotted, he spots and he immediately takes a side scraping position. Because, well, he is a mouse, so you don't really want to show your lower plate. He does do that though. Mainly because of this juicy tank now arriving. And I think we're gonna see some side scraping at this position. Nice little troll shot there. Did cost him some HP. But now the IS-8 is a one shot. With the 215B that is sort of moving in. But not completely. But still taking about 500. What is that Leo doing? Oh my god. I will be very surprised if he manages to get away with that. But that is the end of the Venom. We have the 215B moving in. We see some shots going on at the back. And that is why you are a mouse. You are here to troll. The STI is moving in. On both sides. Big hit there. Nice little bounce. Nice little bounce there as well, but not for the mouse. STI now losing a bit of HP there. Again a bounce. I think that was because he was moving and he zoomed out at the same time, which basically throws off your aim. That's better. There goes the STI. 215B is not going to be long behind, I think. And he just decided to ignore the 215B in favor of doing more damage to the IS-8. And the Leo gets the kill. Can't believe that Leo is still alive. That was a bit rude. Now it's 4 versus 3. One of them is attempting to cap the base. And Marcel is just going for it. So is the Leo. Leo taking a lot of risk this game. And now he pays for it. He gets wiped off. Nice little shot there. And we have the IS-8 moving behind the E50. This though, I think he thought he could not get shot there. Are you seriously? Are you going to ram a mouse? No, you're trying to shoot a mouse. There we go. The Jaeger just killed off the IS-8. But now Marcel is free to move in. Tracking shot, but no damage done. And I think he's going to use the wall to side scrape. Ooh, but not fast enough. And that one definitely did damage. We are already 5,000 HP into it, damage-wise. STI going absolutely YOLO. Jaeger again, managing to get a shot in. Not sure what is up with that STI. Because that is going to be very costly. And that is the end of the Jaeger, and then we have the E50M. And the E50M will be in a precarious position because he will need to decap. Yeah, that is what's wrong with this. They are capping the base together. The IS-8. It's giving some friendly advice. And now it's a question of where the E50 will appear. .75. He is turning around. I think he's expecting him somewhere else. This can still go either way. It will be hard for them to cap if they decap. Now, the question is, will he try? Nicely done. And the mouse still has it. He could still, if it's, as long as he's not decapped, they could still win this. And that was the end of the E50M. Very good effort on his part though to try and decap it. Nice little ace, 6.2k damage. 1583 base XP. And we still have about 20 minutes left to go, so I'm gonna continue to scroll through the channel that I made for this. And we have another replay. This time in the E50M on Castilla. Versus one of the guys from Grump. So let's see where they go, what they do. That's something I generally have for the team games and everything. But it's the same for randoms. You never know what they're gonna do. This is not supremacy, so they could pretty much be anywhere. There's a lot of firepower on both sides. And Rock is going off on his own. We see the VK being spotted and ooh, getting absolutely wiped there. T-54 missing. I think he wants to shoot that VK some more. Which he can with a nice little fire. That is quite evil. No, he's not risking it with the blind shot. But he does have a T-54 to contend himself with here. The pattern now moving in as well. He just has to be careful of the guys on the other side. You have the 268 there, pattern being a bit in the way. Nice little cheeky shot there. It does cost him a little bit of HP now, and they are getting flanked, so they kind of have to move. Nice little double tap here. I like the teamwork between these two. It's mainly the object that is the main concern here. And the T-54 trying to draw them into the line of fire from probably the grill and the FV. I like this repositioning going on. It's a cheeky way to do it. But I do have to be careful of the camping TDs that will be there. That was too hasty a shot. But you can shoot him from here as well. Especially when he drives into the line like that. And now the T-54 is a one-shot. Object 268 is not a happy camper at the moment. And I would focus on the enemy you have ahead of you instead of the one behind you that your teammate is dealing with. There you go. 3k damage in. That does cost him a lot of health, but he is safe from the campers and he will reload before the object. There we go. He needs one more shot to take him out. Nicely done. Not really aimed. Not using Primal either. And it is now 5 versus 3, and the grill and the 1A3 have not been seen just yet, I believe. Yeah, I would expect them there as well. So I think we're gonna see some spots now. There we go, VK is still alive somehow. That was like a double kill. And now we have the grill. $4.3k damage. The grill's best chance is to go straight at Rock. And Rock is like, nope, let's not do that. He's taking a nice little holding position to draw him into the line of fire from his team. But still got some cheeky damage. He is gonna need a little bit of help though. Ooh, that grill missed. He was just too hasty. 5.5k damage, and that is the end of it. Very nicely done. Lovely teamwork. So let's see, we still have about 15 minutes left. I got some more replays for you guys, luckily, because you really do not want to see me play on PC. Because basically I am completely awful at PC. And we're gonna go watch this battle. And I can't wait to have this tank. I really wanted to get into the store. And not in crates, but just at a set gold price. Or even a set money price, but just a set price. And no idea what moro means, but I'm hoping it means something like morning or hello. In this case, it just misses one letter to be offensive. I've already shown that before, Fizzy. Nice little shot there. Honestly, I love this tank. It is so much fun. That bounce though, Batchet moving in. So the Batchet is now getting some attention. He's probably regretting that now. And that is the end of the Batchet. And they will get base D, but that also will be very quickly stolen from them. There he goes, ends off the... This could be a bit tricky though. Especially for the 268 that is. On Michael's side that is. But now the 268 is in a lot of trouble. This is why I like people that sniper mode. There's less chance of your shot just not panning like the last shot he did. There goes the 268. There goes the chieftain. And it is 6 versus 3. And Michael is repositioning himself. To get some damage over here. You shoot me, you bounce, I shoot you, I pen. This tank is so evil, I love it. The KPF just got absolutely massacred. And he just hit the ground. This has to be quite some spawning damage game though. So we know that there is a DS somewhere. And the 268 is going to be... There it goes. And now we only have the DS left to go. No! That could have gone the other way. There he is. And he bounced a big gun. But Michael can actually take a shot HP wise. So I don't think he is too worried. And he's gonna go straight in. See what happens. Nice little tracking shot there. And now he's in a bit of a tricky... Especially with the FV driving forwards. What the hell? Why would you drive forwards then? That's basically costing you quite dearly. And that is the end of the FV and the end of the match. And only 3.8k damage. So that's not all that much. But it is still an ace, and I think that has everything to do with this 1k spawning damage. Not even as much as I would have expected. But that is a lovely little taste. This is a lovely little tank. I really, really want one. So we still have time for one more replay. Let's see what I have. Let's see. Ooh, let's go for this one. This is like a nice little derp game, I think. By Michael again. No HE, just hash. And a little bit of AP. Oh god, there. Oh, I thought only the 1-2-1 actually. I was a little bit afraid that they would be moving all towards base C. Tora capping base C, but it also means that the rest of the enemy team is not there. And that means that they might be as a distinct disadvantage here. Ah, there we go. They have some playmates as well. 3 of them, which means that this side is actually the weaker side for the red team. Batchat losing a lot of HP. And R1A3 now trying to get a shot in. That AMX 30B is very achievable. Oof, 1400 damage with one shot. Nice, evil. There goes the Batchat. Well, 2-9 Batchat, but still Batchat. We have the 183 here. But Michael, I think, wants the Leo PTA. Enemy team has stolen base B, so now Michael is getting base A. AMX 30B almost dead. but he is smart enough not to go into the line of fire of a Death Star. That shot though, that was a little bit of a derp. For those that want the coins, yes, if you watch through the portal, you can get coins for this. Ooh, ooh, juicy. Yeah, you can get coins for this, but make sure you are logged in. And remember that if you watch multiple streams, even if you have several of them on mute, you get more coins, so that it might be worth it. And that is the end of the IS-7. And now there's only a Death Star and a Tortoise left to compete with. And they are at the back near base C. But Michael is the only one left with some decent health. They do have a point advantage though. So they don't need to take any chances. There we have the Tortoise. And he could have just took ages aiming, but he did not. This is clever, they are working together. He wants those tanks spotted. There we go, that's a big shot. 5k damage. The STB has to be careful though, because if he gets spotted, the point advantage isn't that big. There is the 1A3. And we need a target. He did cap a base, so he's steadily getting points and XP. But I think he is just moving in now. Tord is not daring to make much of a move. STB is still alive somehow, trying to keep them spotted. And now they have to be careful because that STB is in trouble now. Ooh, fire. But 6.3k damage. He can't survive another shot from the DS, but he doesn't have to because that STB just took care of it. And the Tortoise is now steadily being destroyed. And there we go. 3 kills, 6.4k damage. And I think with some supremacy points as well. So nicely done. 1700 base XP. Look at those supremacy points. 565. That is awesome. So let's see. We should have a room in 2 minutes time. It will be Primal versus Pincer. And no, you basically have to follow the steps. There are live streams. Just go for that. There are streams there, and those streams will all give you coins. And if you watch all of them, you get more coins. But yeah, we have Primal versus Pincer, and we're gonna go to Rockfield first. So I'm gonna call up that map. That looks something like this. You have base A, which is sort of a heavy base. Well, it's not actually. None of these bases are particularly heavy or medium because it's supremacy and the way that they are positioned. We have base A with the bunker, which makes it nice to cap. We have base C with a little ridge where you can get shots into A and B. And we have base B that is secluded from the sides, but in a very open line of fire between base A and base C. So that is definitely fun to, it's a fun map. I like the old version, I missed that, but I like this version as well. So after Rockfield we go to Canyon. Canyon looks like this. Base C is actually more in the corner than this official image shows. We have base B in the middle on top of a little hill thing, and basically anyone that tries to cap it generally gets shot to hell. And we have base A between the buildings. I like going to base C here myself the most mainly because you have a direct line of fire into both spawns depending on where you want to shoot, and a direct line of fire at base B. And base A does have some nice buildings there with proper covering everything. But overall, I prefer going base B when I'm in a fast tank with gun depression, and I love going to base C in all the other cases. A is not really my favorite place to be. I always feel that you can move with the battle better from C than from A. So that is Canyon, and after Canyon we go to Canal. Canal looks like this. You have the bases closest to the spawn, then you have base D and you have base A that are a bit on the other side. I always feel, for me at least, that I like going base D, because from there on I can move with the battle better than I could from A. There's a little more ways to get to the rest of the map from D than there are from A, and generally people that get spotted from A get shot to hell, whereas from D you might just get away with it. So basically that is it. I'm gonna remove the map so that we can see the lineups and what happens here, and I'll take you back to the maps if we get to them. I'm making sure that there are no maps on the screen. We have Primal that is almost completely readied up. Pincer team is fully present but not readied up yet. And I'm hoping to see some fireworks. Should be fun. Pincer has been doing quite well as well. So now we just wait. We have Primal that has currently 2 113s, an STB, an E50M, a 268, an IS4, and potentially another E50M. I like that fact that there's actually been a lot of E50Ms this tournament season. I've seen that quite often, and it's definitely not one of my favorite medium tanks, but apparently it really works, because yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be chosen. And on Pincer's side we see 2 140s, 2 AMX 50Bs, potentially 2 268, and potentially another AMX 50B. So we are just waiting for the final thing so I can actually call out the lineup that as we know that it will be. Here we go. We have Primo with 2 E50Ms, an IS4, a 268, 2 113s, and an STB. STB I absolutely adore on this map because of all the little peekaboom spots and the way that you can use the ramps and the ridges here on this map. And we have Pincer with those 3 AMX 50Bs, 2 Optics 140s, and 268, and an IS4. So we have 2 minutes left to go, and then we can see what will happen, where they go, what they'll do. I always like predicting where I think that people will go with these lineup, but this is team game. They can go anywhere as long as they support each other. So it doesn't really matter what I think they would do. They generally do something else altogether, and that is the lovely thing about strategy and having basically just the whole team game thing. They are on voice together. One of the AMX 50Bs has been changed now for an IS4. But these guys are on voice together. They have strategies together. They have played against each other quite often, I think. And that makes for interesting stuff. Because basically, when you train against people, you get to know their stats better. And that makes it a little bit difficult to meet them in games like this, because you have a chance that they will know the strategy you will use, even though you don't want them to. At the same time, training makes you stronger, and training against strong clans makes you all the stronger. So yeah. But in 1 minute we get to go. I am ready up, but there is no map on the screen. So I'm just glad that that is the case, that I can't derp with that. And we just have to wait now a little bit. Everyone is ready. And we are good to go. We just have to go into the battle, see what happens. Half a minute left to go. And this is the part where that is boring about tournaments, just waiting until they are done in a room, until they can move in. Gold 544, briefly looking offline there, but he is back in time. And with 6 seconds, we are ready to go. We are ready. Let's go. Aussie, Aussie, Pro, Aussie, Aussie, Pro, Aussie. And lots of pros on Pincer's side. So let's see what happens. Up, up and away. We have the STB and the A50Ms. Basically all of Primal focusing primarily on the C side. So we're going to see some fireworks there. Whereas the IS-4 might be going to base B, or at least spotting base B. With the AMXs moving in towards base B. That is a very cheeky move. I wonder if they're actually going to cap or if they're just there. We have the Object 140 that is firing a blind shot. And has now had himself be spotted, probably because of that blind shot. And he didn't spot anyone but the STB there. So we have even Steven now moving in for the base. We have Pincer that is going to go for base A. And it will be pretty much both teams will have a base. And there will not all be all that much point difference between them. Those AMXs are ready to clip whoever dares go into. Ooh, those shots, that was... wow. Evil. Tanner does lose a little bit of HP for it. But oh my god, that cost him so much HP. We see some shots going into camping spots. SCB being spotted again. E50M not. And I think that Primal should be worried about those AMXs because they are just ready. And A7XO has been spotted. So he has to be careful. We have Primal now pulling back towards their spawn, probably to go and hold. AMX is still not spotted, but the IS-4 has been spotted going down. He is with the AMXs now. Tanner has been spotted versus the Object 140. Some shots being fired, some HP damage being done on both sides. Object 140 is now pulling back, but he is losing quite a bit of HP doing so. Now we have the IS-4 moving in, and look at those AMXs just waiting for a shot there. They are attempting to cap base B. They might not be able to. We have Tanner that is going to get clipped by those AMXs now. Or he would be if he wasn't bouncing and if they weren't missing. Not sure what is going on here. Those AMXs should have been able to do way more than this. Now they are getting absolutely hammered. They both have only one shot left. One of them is now gone. Tanner survived that encounter quite nicely. And Load the Gold is being hammered. And he's not going to be able to reload before he gets a kill. And that's why the 113 is actually focusing on the IS-4 instead of the AMX. And now Pincer has lost 3 tanks. We have 3 more up here. Tanner and even Steven are in a bit of a precarious position. There goes even Steven. But there goes Havoc as well. And they are jumping on top of each other. They are in each other's way. And these guys literally can't do much of anything. They got themselves stuck here. There goes Bro Dude Lag. And now it's only the 268 and he is gone. And if he hadn't gone over that ridge, it might have been different. But they basically just yeah, they got themselves stuck quite literally. And look at the difference in damage done. So we are readied up. We are still going to Rockfield for the second match in this lineup. And we have Primal taking quite some different tanks. We see some bad chats going on now. To answer your question, even though you will only hear this answer in 5 minutes, if you watch the stream through the portal, which is not through YouTube, you can get some coins. With the coins you can buy spring season crates, and with the crates you can get freebies. So basically, little stuff. Primal is now completely ready up with 3 IS-4s, 2 Batchats in E3, and potentially a 268. No, it's actually the Chinese TD tank thingy. The 113 GFT is just too long, so I'm going to call it the Chinese TD. Because we're not going to see a tier 9 in these matches anyway. And we have a sort of rush movement going on the other side, unless they all change tanks, but it looks like we're gonna have 7 140s. And that can be quite a bit of a risk, because when they see that lineup, I expect Primal to hold a bit tighter together. And that means that they will be anticipating a rush, there will be troll bounces. We still see tanks being changed. We currently have the lineup with 25 seconds left to go off. 3 Ice 4s, E3, 268 and 2 Batchats. So in 15 seconds we get to enter the battle and we get to see what happens on the second match on Rockfield. And here we go. I like that the waiting time of getting into the battle is actually a lot shorter here. Let's go up and away. Let's see what they do. We have the Batchats focusing on base C side, probably just to make sure that they don't get rushed. But with all those Object 140s, you know they're gonna get rushed at some point. You just don't know where they are coming from. Primal moving towards base A. Those Batchats are on their own, and I think they know that they're gonna be rushed here. Those Batchats are in precarious position. They are crossing over. We have the 140s moving in. The Batchats pulling back. We see some shots going on, but not much damage being done yet. And now they are not rushing, they are holding. And 2 of the Object 140s are at the back, trying to get behind them. But it's going to cost them so much to try and get there. And I wonder if it's going to be in time, because look at the damage that has already been done to those Object 140s. They are getting deleted. Primal is moving in. It is 7 versus 5 here, because those other 2 Object 140s are not there yet. And it's going to cost them quite badly that bounce though. We have one of the Batchat that is low on HP now, but pretty much all of the 140s are getting absolutely hammered. There's not... Oh, I miss a little bit of focus fire there, but there goes the first. And now the other 2 Object 140s are arriving. The 268 is in trouble. Unique is in trouble. But look at this. Bro Dude Leg is now gone. Basically, they lost 4 tanks trying to take out 2 of Primal. We have the E3 that is facing them. We have the Batchat that is moving in to help them. We have the 140 that is now focusing all on the E3. But even if they do that, it will still be 4 nearly full HP tanks versus 3 Object 140s that are... One of them is a one-shot. And basically this game can't go for anyone but Primal. They are bouncing on the Batchat. That is not something you see every day. They are trying to push that Batchat, but still they will lose so much HP trying to do this. And basically there goes Slide. And then we just have Don't Mess with Hoover. And even if he can take out that Batchat, which I'm not even sure if he can, because he's getting protected. They just need to reload. He really wants that Batchat, but the Batchat is being very evil and not letting him. And that is the end of the game, and the point. This one is for Primal. And that will definitely put the pressure on Pincer, because now they have to win every single match if they want to get the point. And I think that the rush might have been different if not for the fact that those 2 Object 140s arrived way late and didn't move with the team. So it was a very incomplete push, and they pushed into a 7 versus 5 because of it. So we have 1.5 minutes left to go. We are missing a player on Pincer's side, but I'm sure that he will be there in a minute and a half. We are moving to Canyon. Again, this is Canyon. Base C is more into the corner than the picture suggests. And we have base B in the middle on top of a hill. Base A between the buildings. I am gonna take a sip of my drink because my throat is starting to itch with all this talking. There we go. And yeah, we have 1 minute left to go before we enter the battle. There is the 7th guy on Pincer's side. And it will be fun to see what they do here, but definitely the pressure is on Pincer, because Primal just has to win 1 match in order to get the point, whereas Pincer has to win the other way around. Yeah, just 1. Pincer has to win every single match from now on. So that will be difficult. and no pressure at all. We see Primal readied up with an STB, a mouse, 2 268s, 2 batchets and an IS-4. And we see Pincer readied up with 5 Object 140s, a batchet and an IS-4. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with this on this map. I have a feeling that they're just... It seems a bit panicky in my opinion. But in 10 seconds we get to see what they do with this lineup and if they're gonna go for another rush. But we'll hopefully stick together if they do. Or if they have something else planned. So here we go. Let's see. Up and away. We have the STB and the batchet going towards base A. No one apparently going towards base B. And we have the 268 and the mouse going towards base C. They will meet a batchet there. But I wonder who will meet who here. Where? Because the batchets are cheekily capping base A. And the rest of Pincer is not yet there. Pincer is trying to cap base C, but the 268 and the mouse might move in there. But it looks like they're content to let Pincer have that base. Because they will have the point advantage. Some little bit of damage being done to the IS-4 here. The Object 140 is all holding at the back. And now we just have to wait to see what the developments are. The batchets are moving in, probably wanting to get some spots. Mouse losing a little bit of HP. Tanner losing a little bit of HP there in the middle. And the Object 140 seem to be waiting for a target that they're not getting. Unless Tanner peeks out like that, because then he loses HP. And he's not spotting them. They know that they are there, but they're not spotting. So Tanner is now pulling back wisely, even though he can't leave base B completely undefended. IS-4 has been spotted. Gold 5-4 is still full HP. We see some blind shots going on there. It will be fun if we see some blind shot penning. Batchet now moving away. More blind shots happening, but as the batchet has not been spotted. Now Enzyme is going to the rescue, probably to see if he can... More blind shots, see if he can see that that batchet, but he doesn't seem to be there. They have no idea where those 140s are. But they are content to wait because they have this slight point advantage. They can get away with it. Let's see, we have the batchet now. Not much is going on actually. Tanner keeps spotting a little bit to spot that IS-4. We now have the Object 140s that are making a move. Up to a level at least. They are moving in. I think they want Tanner. There we go. Still no spots have been made. There we go. Some of the Object 140s have been spotted. Tanner is absolutely doomed here. He is not going to survive this encounter. But it can cost him very much. There goes Tanner. But it costs Woo Woo Bars quite some points. They are capping base B. And that means that Pincer will have the point advantage now. With the IS-4 that is pulling back a little bit. They are getting rushed. We have the batchet at the back. That has lost some HP. They are... Primal is down a gun, but they will have to make a push, especially now with the 2 bases. They have to move in, they have to get the kills. They have to get people out of the equation. Or they have to steal the bases. We see shots being fired all around. Everyone losing HP. The batchet now in a precarious position between 2 140s, but they're not pushing him just yet. And basically now the kills have to be made if they want to do this. The bad chat is ignoring Rijk. Oh, now actually the game is Pincer's because Rijk died and that cost him too many points. And I think that people are still dying. So the game is still going, but the game is Pincer's. And it looks like Primal just waited too long, and then when the Object 140 started to appear, they weren't really focus firing, they were just shooting anyone. And that is, I think, what cost them the game in the end. But we still have another match on Canyon left to go, and remember that the pressure is on Pincer, they need to win every match, and Primal still has 2 games to win 1 game. So we have 1 minute and a half left to go. I am ready up. There is no map on the screen. And we have Pincer with a near complete lineup of 1 bad chat, 1, 2, 3, 4 113s, a Foch and a Chieftain MK6. And we see Primal with a bad chat, an IS-4, another bad chat, an SCB, 2 113s and potentially a Foch. And now Pincer decided to take an Object 140 instead. But it's still both quite a mobile team on both sides here. We have 40 seconds left to go before we enter the match. And everybody is ready to go. Haven't seen the Chieftain MK6 much. It has been used, I don't think I've seen it on this map. It is an absolutely lovely tank, but I think that it might not be the best tank to take on this map. I'm not sure how it will perform here in a team tournament game. In randoms, I think it can work any map. But this is different. So here we go. Let's see what happens. We have Primal focusing mainly on base C side with the STB going into base B. The Foch, even Steven, heading towards base A, or at least to overlook whoever comes there and to possibly support the STB. The bad chat has been spotted. Not sure if even Steven can get a shot into there. The Chieftain did take some damage. Even Steven in a camping position, but not to stop the bad chat. We have Pincer now getting base C as well as potentially getting base A soon. We have Primal that is focusing primarily on that Chieftain MK6, but they have a whole team of Pincer behind them. And I'm not sure how much they realize that. They are moving in on that poor Chieftain MK6 now though. And we see some massive fireworks going on. They are losing some HP doing this. They are now getting shot in the bum. Chipotle is in a bit of trouble, but there goes the Chieftain and the first gun is out of the way. Now, Chipotle has definitely problems. He is getting focus fired, but it is costing him quite a lot of HP to try and take out Chipotle. He is now gone though, and now the Foch is next. We have Load the Gold that is loading the gold for Rijk. Rijk has been deleted, so has the Foch. It is 5 versus 4. We are entering an all-out brawl. And it will be all about the focus fire. They are trying to save the 113. They are not taking out the guns. They need to take out the guns. The 113 is still alive here. STB is getting shots in. There goes Load the Gold. There goes Enzyme. Now it's 4 versus 2. And one of them is a 113 that is now being hammered. There he goes. And now we only have Creed left. And this will be Primal's game, and that means that Primal gets the point. Here we go, STB moving in, the Foch moving in, and the bad chat taking it home. Some hugging going on Primal's side. Well played both teams. I think that in this case, Pincer shouldn't have left the chieftain MK6 there alone, and I think it was very good for Primal to realize that he was indeed alone and moving in for that kill, getting that gun out of the equation early. And after that it just developed into a full-out brawl, and then anything goes. So Primal has the point here. Let's see what's gone on in the rest of the team-ups. Rain has a point, not surprised there. And we are still waiting on some matches. Let's see where Straight is at. Let's see, they are up against Von. We have Rain Chaos. It would help if it loaded. That goes generally faster. Rain Chaos versus Void. And we just have to wait a little bit longer. Oh crap, I just clicked the button. And I don't know how to fix it. There we go. Let's see, go back. Let's see if we have some more results. Nah, this is not showing it yet. And I think I'm gonna play you another replay while we wait, and after that we will check the points again. Let's see. This should be fun. I got another one for you by Marcel. So I'm gonna show you that one. And this is a tank that I have a serious love-hate relationship with. There are times when I can play a rear-mounted turret very well, and there are times where I get absolutely pwned in it. And as such, this is a tank that I don't always get along with. 8 game, 8 lose. That's not good. I hope that generally if I lose 2 games in a row in a tank, I change tank and I change tier, because you generally get more frustrated, and that means you make a lot more mistakes than you actually would normally. All of the team is heading towards the train tracks. That bounce though, from a Death Star. And he's being quite forwards. But that can really work in this tank, because it is a pretty strong tank. Nice little shot there. Ooh, that Leo just got hammered. And now we see Marcel going into a nice side scraping position, which is one of the things that this tank is really good at. And that is one of the reasons that I like this tank. He has to be careful not to overextend and to overexpose himself though. That fire. Ooh, he is losing quite a bit of HP now. He has to be careful. Nice little bounce there. T-50 Heavy is getting Leo's driving in the way. That does not help matters. We have Marcel now moving forward. AMX 30B here. I want that tank as well. Nice little fire. And he is not putting it out. That makes it even better. And again. Double fire. That is evil. I love it. T-57 Heavy wanted to make a move. There we go. That is the end of the T-57 Heavy. We have the Batchat that is moving in. And that is the end of the Batchat. Nicely done. It's 4-4. The Waffle is definitely in the way. Probably trying to do something smart. And they are basically moving in. Not sure what is going on with that Yege. He is turning around. We have the grill in position. The E50M. Or the E50? No, it's an E50, not an E50M, my bad. And cheeky little kill. He does take quite a bit of damage from the grill there. But the grill is in a very HE-able tank. And he might just be able to make this. Ooh, that was HE to the tracks, did very little damage. Very nicely done. 5 kills, 5.9k damage. Epic little game. 58 extra ratings, that's always fun. And that was just absolutely lovely. So let's see where we are at. Do we have the results yet? I think we do. Of 3. Void 1, Rain 1, Primal has a point. And we are waiting for Straight versus Von, I believe. No, it is Straight to get home. And that means that Straight has a point as well. And that means that we have Rain with 8 points, Void with 7 points, Primal with 6 points. And then we have Straight with 3 points. So basically we have a pretty solid top 3 with anything can happen below. And it will be fun to see who takes home the 4th spot. But that is basically it for right now. I will be back in... I can't brain anymore. 8.5 hours, I believe. I think. To stream Asia. And after that in the evening EU again. But this is it for NA tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for the gameplay, for all the teams that we saw. Thank you for the fun. Thank you for watching. And I'll be seeing you guys the next time again. Good night all.